Perhaps you've come in contact with people that have just done something to your energy. Perhaps they're completely unaware that they're able to do these things. It happens every day. Let's use this powerful Reiki healing session to release other people's energy and restore your power, restore your light. Just allow yourself to open, to connect, to feel the energy, this universal life force energy. That's what Reiki means, coming from this video. I'm Skeed, been a Reiki Master for around 3 decades now. In Reiki, there are 2 types of mastery. One, because you have a certificate that says you're a master, and then you have true mastery. But here, let's focus on what it is we are releasing here. When we come into contact with people, and this doesn't have to be direct contact with people. In this world of social media, hating and ego, and yeah, we all know those things that go on, don't we? There's people that come in and attack a comment. This could be on social media, or this could be the person at work who always has something to say that's always negative. If that's your boss, it's even worse, isn't it? Or that friend that always drains you, or a family member. What we must remember here, the most important thing to remember here is we can say they attack our energy. And when we're with them, they can be draining the energy. If you do not have enough protection, if you do not have enough energy, if you are not connected to the source energy, it will drain you. Yet when you are no longer with that person, the person that keeps draining this is you. For if we play the victim in this situation, we lose the power of control. And therefore, it can feel like they are still draining us. They are still attacking us. We are the victim. Our memories can do this. The traumas we have within our body can do this to us. Yet the one that holds on to those memories, the one that holds on to those traumas, whether they're old memories or something that happened yesterday or this morning, if we no longer stay the victim, if we take charge of our memories of past situations, something very powerful happens. We take back the power to release that, to stop it from happening. Because as I said, it is us that holds on to that fact. And whilst it may feel like someone else is doing it to us, we are in fact the ones doing it to ourselves. However messed up that sounds, it happens every day. It's an easy mistake to make. And it is a simple mistake, nothing else. So when we understand we are not the victim in this victimhood society we live in today, We take back our power. We briefly focus on a situation that caused us to lose our energy and simply cut the cord, cut the bond with that memory. I can explain this in many ways. If it's a memory from yesterday, if we see that memory, if we picture that memory, we feel that memory, and that memory is bright and big and in color in our heads. Make it smaller, send it further away, take the color out of it. See what happens to the power of that memory. It's another way of what we call cord cutting. We take the power out of the memory. Therefore, that draining also subsides. That is one simple way. Other, of course, is taking this energy, this Reiki energy, and allowing it to flow into the part of our body, not necessarily our physical body, perhaps our energetic body, of where that trauma is stored. Just allow the energy to flow to that, thus stimulating and thus releasing it. One is doing it visually, one is doing it energetically. It has the same end. And thus we can release all these things of these people. People talk of hexes, of curses, of all these things going on. Very few people know these days how to truly create a hex or a curse. And so what people think, thanks to social media, hexes and curses, are nothing more and nothing less than what I've just described. You hanging on to your own memory and draining yourself. And by using these very simple yet effective tools, we allow ourselves complete disconnection from them, from those people. We can focus in on bringing ourselves back to that zero state, healing from these past experiences, and thus enabling ourselves to feel, once again, if we've got there at all in our lives, to a balanced state. Many people haven't felt this balanced state since they were very young, if they can even remember. And this is why people must go down a healing path. Not to be considered an awakening path. Awakening happens once we reach that 0 point. First, we must heal. First, we must build a strong foundation to build the house. Because if we have not healed, we have not dug the earth, got down to solid ground to put the foundation on, that is the healing. When we go to build the house on top, very quickly we will have structural problems and cracks. And building the house is the awakening. Building the foundation and healing and preparing is, of course, healing. Two very different things. People confuse them all the time, especially these days. Everyone's awake today. They're not. You realize what a true awakening is. You also get to see how, unfortunately, all these people kid themselves due to ego, trying to feel more special than they are, which again itself is a problem. Because they don't want to do the deep healing work that is required. They simply want to reach a goal. And awakening is not about a goal, not about reaching anything. But this is the start. We release these things. These things that happened this morning, these things that happened yesterday, the day before, the week before, the month before, the year before, the decade before. All these things we have accumulated and held on to, that we have taken and held on to from other people. Now we release them. And I highly encourage you to come back and do this video over and over and over, so that you may go down this journey of healing and release these things. Not necessarily one at a time, but there are a lot of things we need to go through. And that's okay. This is all good work. So we can find that solid ground. We can do all the healing necessary. If we then choose, we can then start down the path of an awakening. No, we can do that safely. Most of the problems that arise down a path of an awakening is that we have not done enough healing. The foundations are weak. But of course, it is a far greater problem for a house to fall down once it's half built, because it can crush you as you build it. Therefore, it's easier to find that solid ground first. Just keep working, just keep releasing. Cutting those cords, those ties to those memories you hold of people that have drained you, those attachments. And as they go, acknowledge something has released. Even if you don't know what it is specifically, something just released. There's another one. There it goes. Because as we do this, we are programming our ego, we're programming our subconscious minds to seek these things, to find them for us, just as when we go to buy a new car that's rare and we say, I'm going to buy a red Range Rover, it's a rare car, or whatever the car is. And as soon as you decide to see it, suddenly you see lots of them everywhere. Because you seek something, your ego gives it to you. That's what it does. So if you register as you release these things, your ego is going to work for you rather than against you, and it's going to find more and release, and release, and release. And it can get to a point after practice that you programmed your ego so well that it starts releasing these things all the time without you having to do anything. And you just, for no apparent reason, over time begin to feel better and better and better and lighter and lighter and lighter. And your whole reality changes thanks to you doing the work to program your ego to release these things. And you can really embrace the feeling of light. And when you come across that next petty person that still is acting from the position of the hurt child, even if they claim to be the most awakened person, many do. You can see that they are just this person coming from this place of the hurt child, squabbling, fighting, trying to steal your energy. You can acknowledge it. As soon as you register this, that energy attack, that sucking of your energy that they are doing in that moment, ceases. It stops. It no longer affects you. Because you are no longer a victim to be energetically bullied. You've become wise in your understanding, or wiser in your understanding of energy, and thus gain control over it. As you gain control over it, you will see how many people are stuck in one role or another, whether it's the hurt child or another one. Living in these stuck cycles, fast asleep, perhaps making claims, perhaps not. Perhaps they're in an adult's body acting as a child, perhaps not. You also get many children who are actually more adult than many adults, energetically especially. Children tend to be very wise energetically. That is until they are forced into these places where they have to fight for energy and fight to survive and don't understand. No one teaches them. These play schools. Kindergarten, whatever. And then throughout one's entire life, no one ever learns these things. So they just keep playing the victim, stuck in these roles, never learning how simple, how amazing life can be. Living in their light, knowing how to release other people's energy. Remember, if you wish to go deeper into this, check out my other YouTube channel, The Awakening Energy by Skeed, where we go way deeper than Reiki. You can have private Reiki sessions with me. You can even come and take trainings with me of different sorts and other things, other offerings I do. All these things you can find on theawakeningenergy.com. Remember to interact with this video if you've enjoyed it. Comment, like, share. Of course, subscribe to the channel. But by doing these things, it will tell the algorithm that you've enjoyed these videos and thus give you more of them. So by interacting with the video, not only are you helping other people to see these videos, so they can help them by sharing it, by liking, by commenting, you're also helping yourself receive more of the videos too. It's a two-way street, very useful. See you in another video.